Here with us is Border Czar Tom Homan. Tom, great to see you. House Oversight Dems are defending this ICE tracker that we mentioned earlier, writing that it's not a live tracking system, doesn't monitor officer movements or reveal private info or put any individual at risk. It just compiles possible misconduct and abuses. So is that okay?
No, so bottom line is, if you support illegal immigration, then you support the criminal cartels of Mexico. Because no one crosses the border illegally without paying a plaza fee to the criminal cartels. And I'm going to remind everybody, and I'm going to keep reminding these Democrats, where were you the last 4 years? Well, we had over 10 million people come to our border. We had 250,000 Americans die from fentanyl coming across the open border. We had a record number of people from terrorist-sponsored countries coming across the border. Sex trafficking women and children are at a historic high. You let 500,000 children be smuggled in the United States. You lost track of 300,000. You weren't even looking for them. It's the Trump administration and President Trump's leadership where we've already found over 30,000 of them. We're not going to let them forget. You are complicit in the biggest national security failure, the biggest humanitarian failure in the history of this nation. So you can scream and yell and do all these apps you want, but we're not going to let you forget. You are complicit. You support illegal immigration, then you support criminal cartels in Mexico. And when they smuggle people, they smuggle guns, they smuggle dope. So that's who you're supporting. Illegal immigration is not a victimless crime. And if they don't know that, they're just simply ignorant.
Yeah, the New York Times did that big piece. They were trying to be sympathetic with the illegal who, basically took someone's identity. But it turns out that the American whose identity was stolen by the illegal, his life has been turned upside down. So there are all different ways that illegal immigration, even if you're not out there, selling drugs on the street as an illegal or you're robbing someone at gunpoint, there are other ways that your presence in the United States is making it more difficult for the average working man and woman, especially victims of identity theft. And Tom, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, never one to make a logical argument, said this.
This is an important press conference that is being held to let you know what we're all doing, resisting this low-down, dirty, no-good, filthy president of the United States of America.
Well, this is all, again, pejorative. But, Tom, they are trying to affect public opinion here by giving people the impression that it's really not about illegal aliens with deportation orders or criminals. People are just being rounded up and people are like, someone kidnapped my daughter from ICE. You see these headlines. So they have moved public opinion a little bit against the administration on this. It's not as popular as it was before. So is there a messaging issue that needs to be improved on the part of the administration?
Well, obviously there is, but, in all fairness, the vast majority of media don't want to tell the truth. The bottom line is, you and I have talked many times, according to the data, between 60 and 70% of everybody ICE arrests is a criminal, public safety threat. Now, I looked at the numbers this morning. We got just under 650,000 total deportations since President Trump's been in the White House. Now, if you let's just take 60% of that, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of criminals. That makes this country safer. We got to get that. We got to get the data out there more frequently. We got to talk about actually who's being arrested, and share the American people the facts versus fiction. For instance, ICE has never been in elementary school. ICE don't attack churches, but ICE don't go into hospitals. But I read those stories every day. The vast majority of media just don't want to tell the truth. They want to vilify Trump. And it's hatred for Trump more than it's the truth. And I've said this many times. These Democrat governors and mayors who constantly want to attack President Trump, they hate Trump more than they care about the safety and security of their communities, because the data proves we're moving the worst of the worst out of this country every single day across this nation.
No doubt. There have been a lot of really bad people removed and continue to be removed. But, Tom, at the same time, MAGA is not thrilled that it's only 600,000. So you have the left saying we shouldn't arrest anybody. Then you have MAGA saying they got millions of people here. It would have meant you had to deport like 50,000 a week from the beginning of the administration. And even if you keep going at the pace you're going at, that's a dent in the illegal alien population. People would deport, who are deportable aliens right now. So what do you say to those people who say this is great, but it's nowhere near enough?
Then come put a badge and gun on and give us a hand. ICE is hiring record numbers. Bottom line is, I just said just about 650,000 deportations. That is several 100,000 more than the record that was back in 2012. So it was already a historic operation. Second of all, you got to consider the people who have left the country out of fear of being deported. There's over 1.6 million of them. So there's well over 2.2 million left the country already. And that's been the part of the plan from the beginning. We knew if we send over 1,000 ICE teams out there across the country, we send a message to the whole world. You enter this country illegally, we're looking for you. And by sending that message, by having anything, ICE is one of the reasons we have the most secure border in the history of the nation right now, because people aren't coming because they know there's consequences. So between that record number of deportations, the record number of self-deports, we're already had an historic deportation operation. But hold on tight, we're hiring 10,000 more. That's going to be on duty by mid-January. That's tripling the size of enforcement removal operations. So if you think the numbers are historic now, wait till next year.
Well, that's music to my ears. I love that. Tom, thank you so much. Have a great Thanksgiving, and thank you very much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.